food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia, that's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Some kind of ground ball. Once we got that, with two outs there, obviously you're going to pitch careful, but with Kirk behind him, it's pick your poison.
And the poison came through in the clutch just like it was supposed to. It went down to the wire, and it was a dramatic finish here at Rogers Center last night. This place is buzzing for round two between the Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. We are buttoned up because of inclement weather around the GTA, rain all afternoon long. A little bit of chill in the air, so we are nice and cozy indoors at Rogers Center for the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Ben Wagner, Arden Swelling, and Aaron Boone giving a little bit of insight on why he's turning gray, especially when he looks at the top half of the Toronto Blue Jays lineup. When Kevin Biggio, the automatic runner, was planted at second base, there were two outs in the 10th inning. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was at the plate. That was the decision after a huddle on the mound between the players, and then the dugout got involved with the mound visit as well. They said, all right, we're going to go after this guy. That decision lasted about 0.7 seconds. One pitch at 117 miles an hour into left field.
The third hardest ball that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has hit this season. Aaron Boone's going to manage his 700th career game here tonight. He's probably hoping it's not quite as tense as his 699th. I, for one, am hoping that it is, because last night's game was just fantastic. Tension, drama, intensity, strategy, huge moments, and a big walk-off. You think of the stakes on both sides in that game. The Blue Jays obviously trying to clinch a postseason berth. Their magic number now down to 3. The Yankees on their side trying to clinch an AL East title. They can do that with a win here over the Blue Jays tonight or tomorrow. And then obviously Aaron Judge continuing his pursuit of a home run milestone. Last night, the Blue Jays said, not tonight, Yankees, not tonight. Aaron Judge, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. said, not in my house. Like he said, time for round two.
Rounding the bases and then finishing it off, running back to his teammates, swarming him just to the left of the mound in between third base as well. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. About a year ago, Bo Bichette made the same proclamation, circling the bases with a go-ahead home run in the 8th inning against the New York Yankees. They know exactly who they're matched up against. They know exactly what's on the table. If you want to go through the postseason, you've got to knock off the New York Yankees. They did round one last night, 3-2 in extra innings. The Blue Jays have just taken the field. We'll get to the strategy and how all the drama unfolded last night, including what's in front of us tonight with these starting lineups brought to you by Timbermark, where you're not only going to get everything you need for your home improvement projects, you'll get air miles too. Check out the project of the month at timbermart.ca. It's filled with tips and trends to make the most of your living space. Timbermart is Canada's building center. Blue Jays race onto the field with this starting lineup. George Springer's in center field. Bo Bichette the shortstop. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He will be batting third, DHing tonight. Alejandro Kirk will do the catching. Matt Chapman's at third base. Teoscar Hernandez returns to play in right field. Raimel Tapia's in left with Merrifield at second base. Kevin Biggio bats ninth and plays at first base. Now for the visiting New York Yankees, who have a magic number of 1. They can clinch the American League Eastern Division with a win tonight. That is the simple math. The center fielder is Aaron Judge, flirting with American League history, tied for the second most total ever. Roger Maris in 1961 hit 61 home runs. Babe Ruth and Aaron Judge are second on the list, each with 60. Anthony Rizzo will follow Judge at first base. Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, bats third. Josh Donaldson, the former Blue Jay and MVP in 2015, plays at third, bats fourth. Giancarlo Stanton will bat fifth and DH. Oswaldo Cabrera, the right fielder, will bat sixth. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the shortstop, will hit seventh. Kyle Higashioka will do the catching and bat eighth. Aaron Hicks gets his first call of this series in left field, batting ninth. Jose Berrios, Jamison Tyone, that's the pitching matchup. All eyes on this historic moment here at Rogers Center. Move into the right-handed batter's box with Aaron Judge at the plate. 60 home runs on the precipice of history. One of the game's greatest marks, has stood for nearly 6 decades. And Aaron Judge in front of lineage from Roger Maris with Junior on site. The pitch, Berrios has it fouled back. And with that, we are underway. Jose Berrios has had a lot of good starts for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's had a few clunky starts for the Toronto Blue Jays. Rarely has it been the curveball that have given him fits. It's the straight stuff, and that's the danger with Judge. The 0-1. Just below the knees at 95 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike.
The curveball can be a tell, though, in whether or not Jose Berrios is getting swing and miss. If he's getting hitters to expand against it, it's moving the way he needs it to.
The pitch to Judge across the knees, a called strike. And it's 1-2.
But you're right. It's been fastballs over the heart of the plate that have really killed Jose Berrios this year. He has to be finer in his command to the edges.
Quick worker, the 1-2 pitch is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Judge. Not only are you watching the home run total with Aaron Judge, he's a really good hitter, a tremendous athlete. Judge, right now as he steps into the batter's box, leading the American League in all 3 Triple Crown categories. Nobody has a better average right now. Nobody has more home runs. And nobody has driven in more than Aaron Judge with 128 ribbies. The 2-2. Curveball down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And oh, by the way, a very sharp eye. Second in Major League Baseball in walks. Out of the line, the 3-2 pitch. Judge hits it on the line. Caught on the backhand at third base by Chapman. 1 down.
And you could mention the defense as well. You think about that ball that Bo Bichette hit in the 10th inning last night with Cavan Biggio, the automatic runner on second. Off the bat, we all thought this ball's going off the wall. And right, it was scorched. Cavan Biggio went halfway to third base, and Aaron Judge, long strides, all 6'7" of them, glided back and took a hit away from Bo Bichette.
It is a remarkable season for Aaron Judge. He starts 0 for 1 tonight. The Blue Jays shipped off to the right and use a 4-man outfield with the extra outfielder, Whit Merrifield, in right. Pitch to Rizzo. Broken bat. Hopper on the first base line. Scooped by Biggio, but called foul. And Rizzo will have to retreat back to the first base dugout with a busted piece of lumber. We're in the first inning, being brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com for more. We talk about the magic numbers, Arden Zwelling. The Yankees get a win. They know that they're in already, but it is the clincher of the division. That is what they had their sights set on when this season started. Nobody got out of the gate the first 2 months in American League history better than the New York Yankees. The 0-1 hit high in the air, up the line and right. Merrifield drifting back, shy of the track with room, makes the catch. You talk about a challenge. Hey, just go out here for a couple of pitches, play deep in the right field corner, and then try to grab one out of the rafters. There are 2 down.
You can tell Anthony Rizzo plays a lot at Yankee Stadium by the way that he hit that ball. That was one that was looking for the short porch in the Bronx. Doesn't exist here in Toronto. It's funny. It was a 4-man outfield, but it was almost like a 4.5-man outfield because Bo Bichette was way back of the infield dirt in shallow right field and almost like a softball rover position. The Blue Jays just giving Anthony Rizzo anything on the infield. He didn't take it.
Gleyber Torres tracks a fastball in the outside corner, called strike one. Just getting started, top of the first, 2 up, 2 down. A long fly from Rizzo, a line drive out at third from Judge. Berrios deals the 0-1. A swing and a miss at a curveball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays with a magic number of 3 today, a 3-game lead in the American League wild card. 20 games over the 500 mark, matching the furthest above 500 that they have been this season. 0-2, down and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Torres. The Rays have dropped back-to-back ball games. They were off yesterday. They will begin their road trip tonight. The 1-2, blow it away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Then the Seattle Mariners, trying to figure out what Seattle will do down the stretch. They've got a favorable schedule to finish up their regular season, but they're not playing good baseball right now at all. But they are still, of course, if it were to start today, in the postseason. And the Blue Jays would start with hosting all 3 of the wild card. 2-2, swing and a miss. Torres down on strikes, and a 1-2-3, top of the first for Jose Berrios. Good energy at Rogers Center as we get started tonight. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This game tip is brought to you by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Want to start the wave? Hold a piece of beef jerky above your head.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woo-hoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
What a treat tonight. Once again, we are going to witness 2 of the elite leadoff hitters in Major League Baseball. Aaron Judge already lined out to third base, and now George Springer. He'll start it off for the Blue Jays after a scoreless 1-2-3 first turned in by Jose Berrios. Jamison Tyone through 30 starts as a .390 earned run average. Opponents batting .244 off of the right-hander. He struck out 140 in 160-plus innings. Rocks into the windup. The pitch to George Springer is taken low for ball 1. Bo Bichette and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will get their crack at the right-hander all here in the first inning. Alejandro Kirk, Matt Chapman, Teoscar Hernandez. And then the bottom third, Raimel Tapia, Whit Merrifield, and Kevin Biggio. Compact windup, Tyone deals. And Springer scalds one. Straight away center field. Judge back at the wall. It's gone! What a start for the Blue Jays. Another mark in the history books. This one is for George Springer. His 52nd career leadoff home run. One from tying Craig Biggio for 3rd all-time in Major League Baseball history in leadoff home runs. What a start. Pop at the top for Toronto. 1-0. The 9th leadoff home run this season for George Springer. Swing and a miss by Bo Bichette. That's strike one.
It's that time of year. Just about October, right about when George Springer takes this game to another level. We've seen it for years with the Houston Astros, one of the best postseason performers of this era.
Swing and a miss by Bichette in the hole, 0-2. It's been a while since we've seen a Springer dinger at the start. His first leadoff home run since July 10th. 0-2 to Bo, lined off to the right. Stays no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you just mentioned Craig Biggio. Remember when that's what a leadoff hitter looked like? Him or a Kenny Lofton, right? Kind of a speedy guy who puts the ball in play, not these behemoths like Judge and Springer.
0-2 on Bichette. Tyon deals. Swing and a miss. Chased one out of the zone. But really expanded there. And he's down on strikes.
Used to be a contact hitter, a guy with some wheels, not a dude like George Springer who just hit a ball 431 feet to center at 110 miles per hour. Not a guy like Aaron Judge who has 60 big ones this year. He's like 6'7". Who knows what he weighs? Game's changed, Ben.
Certainly has. The modern game will tell you get your best hitter in the batter's box as soon as possible. As soon as possible is number one. And the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead because of it. Here's Vladdy. Guerrero takes outside. That's ball one from Tyon. How about Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? His drama capped it all off last night, rounding the bases, celebrating with his teammates as he delivered the game winner. A 3-2 win for the Blue Jays. Walked it off with a line drive into left field last night. 1-0. Appanese called strike. The third time this season that the Blue Jays have watched Vladimir Guerrero Jr. give them a walk-off celebration. His first of his career against the Baltimore Orioles, more recently in the summer against the Boston Red Sox, and last night over the New York Yankees. 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Vladdy's already got his American League Eastern Division trifecta with walk-offs. 6th time the Blue Jays got a walk-off win. So many pivotal moments in that ball game led to the elation delivered by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. last night. Blue Jays 1, Yankees nothing. 1-2. Taken high at the hands. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on the designated hitter, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
The decision to pitch to Vlad in the first place by Aaron Boone. Could have walked Vlad and then could have walked Alejandro Kirk behind him and taken his chances with Matt Chapman and the bases loaded and 2 out. Chose not to.
Aaron Boone said after the ball game, and then he told me earlier today, how do you pick? Who do you pick? I had to pick my poison. The 2-2. Check swing at the slider. Did he go? No, on the appeal down to first. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
If it's me, then I'm walking the bases loaded. I'm setting up the force at any base. I'm taking my chance with Matt Chapman, who was not having a great game at the plate. We saw Luis Severino getting his fastball past Chapman all night long. That's the choice I would have made.
3-2 to Vladdy. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes. He lost the bat on the follow-through. Back-to-back strikeouts, rebounding with 2 down after the leadoff home run from George Springer. Our standings update is brought to you by Bet365, the world's favorite sports book. When you talk about George Springer and his leadoff home runs, 52 of them in his career. Today was his 13th as a Blue Jay. All-time, Ricky Henderson owns what is looking like an unconquerable mountain at 81 leadoff home runs. 54 for Alfonso Soriano, then the 53 from Craig Biggio. And right on Biggio's heels, George Springer, also a former Astro. Alejandro Kirk takes down and away. That's ball one. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. The 1-0. Spins a little high. 2 balls and no strikes on Kirk. And to even take it further, when I was talking with Aaron Boone about Alejandro Kirk, he said, listen, hitting is his calling card. That is where he has been entrenched. And a number of reasons why he's in the number 4 hole so much in this potent lineup. 2-0 cruises over at 94 miles an hour for strike one. And the bottom line is the way that Alejandro Kirk handles the bat. Aaron Boone said he is a tough out. And another reason why we rolled the dice and pitched to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 2-1. Picks the outside corner, and it evens the count at 2-2.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't walk both Vlad and Kirk. It's the bottom of the 10th inning. Game's over if a run gets in. 2 out. Might as well set up the force out at any base. Take your chances with Chapman. He said he had to pick his poison. He could have declined both poisons.
Door number 3, 2-2. Kirk pops it up. Shallow in right center field. Loping back, Gleyber Torres. He's underneath it, makes the squeeze, and the Blue Jays are retired. But boy, did this place get loud early. A leadoff home run from George Springer. His 24th of the season has Toronto in front, 1-0 after 1. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Introducing The Post, Green Park Group's newest condo, coming soon to North Oakville. This boutique 8-story condominium is moments from the area's bustling shopping and dining district, as well as its lush.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woohoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. Baseball's in full swing, so why not enjoy great Pilsner taste from Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 milliliters. Must be legal drinking age. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. At Rogers Center, buttoned up because there's rain outside. Blue Jays and Yankees move to the second with Arden Zwelling. I'm Ben Wagner. Outside, it's a little chilly, too. Feels like fall. Feels like postseason baseball. 12 Celsius, 54 Fahrenheit. Indoors, Jose Berrios, after a 1-2-3 first, works on Josh Donaldson. First pitch, fastball, center cut, called strike 1. Indoors, extremely comfortable, 68 Fahrenheit, that's 20 Celsius. Berrios brings home the 0-1, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes on Donaldson. 15 home runs, 59 driven in for the Yankee third baseman who's batting fourth. Giancarlo Stanton, Oswaldo Cabrera set to follow in the middle of the order. The 0-2. Curveball just missed the outside corner. It was very close and a long squeeze by Alejandro Kirk. He's got the plate tonight. Defensively for Toronto, deep in third is Matt Chapman. Right at the cut of the turf in the dirt stands Bo Bichette. 1-2. Swing and a miss. No doubt about that one. It's a strike because Donaldson came up empty. Second strikeout for Berrios. 1 away. Rest of the horn for the Blue Jays with Chapman, Bichette. There's Whit Merrifield shifting off to the left side from second. Kevin Biggio with his hands on his hips, strolling around wide of first. In the outfield, Raimel Tapia, since there's no Lourdes Gurriel Jr., at least likely until that Red Sox series. Pitch to Stanton. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. George Springer in center field already made it 1-0 with his leadoff home run. And Teoscar Hernandez, who had a big night at the plate yesterday, and right. Stanton lines it off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes on Giancarlo Stanton.
He likes seeing Berrios working ahead of all 5 batters that he's faced to this point. First pitch strikes to each of them. That's going to be huge for him tonight, getting into those leverage counts.
And the 0-2. Stanton pounds a fastball and 2 bounces out to Bichette. Flags it in front of his cap. Good throw to first base. 2 down.
This is what the Blue Jays need from Jose Berrios, attacking the zone, confidence with his fastball, staying off the heart of the plate, obviously mixing in the curveballs, landing it for strikes, getting hitters to expand, and recording efficient outs.
Interesting to watch as this night goes on. Does Jose Berrios make any adjustments, or are the adjustments that he made moving into this start, tweaking the glove, now committed to using pitch comms since the very start? Oswaldo Cabrera swings and misses over the curveball for strike 1. That's something that he didn't do against the Tampa Bay Rays. They were using the traditional signals. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball taken low, 1 ball and 1 strike. They thought, all right, let's erase all of the wonder whether or not a catcher might be tipping with the way that the signals are being relayed, or maybe it's the rotation or a nod or something that you're not doing even consciously. 1-1. Fastball tails inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. So with Danny Jansen or Alejandro Kirk, whoever's going to line up and catch Jose Berrios, they're going from moment number 1, use the PitchCom device. Berrios deals the 2-1. Lined into center field. That'll sink for a base hit. Long loud single turned around by Oswaldo Cabrera, the first runner of the game for the Yankees. Here with 2 outs.
Does seem like the Blue Jays have been searching for something with Jose Berrios essentially all season long, and here we are in one of his final outings of the year. This is the Blue Jays opening day starter, remember. Still searching, still looking for whatever it is that's behind his struggles.
And maybe the Blue Jays are also looking for something to cement him as the number 3 starter in a potential wild card situation. Still undecided who gets game 3, Berrios or Ross Stripling. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa steps in, fouls the first pitch back. That's strike 1. Now, if the Blue Jays had a best case scenario, there is no game 3. You throw a combination of Kevin Gausman and Alek Manoah, and then you have a champagne celebration here at Rogers Center, and you wait on the DS.
And now we're talking game 1 of the DS.
Right.
Also a pretty big outing.
Runner at first, 2 out. Blue Jays lead 1-0. A move towards first. Quick tag by Biggio. Just back in time goes the rookie standing. Wow, that was close. A very good move by Berrios. 20 seconds on the timer. Blue Jays go back to the video room because it was that close. Tag went onto the back of the right thigh of Oswaldo Cabrera. Blue Jays say play on, so no review with New York. 0-1. Chopped away weakly, third base side. This will turn the corner and roll foul. Good read by Jose Berrios and Matt Chapman. He read the spin of the ball first and then gave up, knowing that that ball would turn away and roll foul. So it's no balls and 2 strikes on Kiner-Falefa. We're coming to you tonight from the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Blue Jays had to play catch-up last night. Trailed 1-0 and then 2-0 on the long ball by Kiner-Falefa, his 4th of the year. Teoscar Hernandez came within millimeters of giving the Blue Jays a 4-2 lead. With bases loaded, he picked up a 2-run double, and I mean, it was just off the top of the wall. 0-2. Fastball called perhaps low. That's the only place that could have missed. It certainly had the plate. The Blue Jays asking the home plate umpire, Ryan Wills, was that low? The umpire turned around, looked at the Blue Jays dugout, nodded his head up and down. And then Pete Walker and John Schneider just smiled. Okay. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a curveball. So it only takes 1 extra pitch after the strikeout. The Blue Jays felt should have been recorded for Jose Berrios to strike out his 3rd. A runner left at first. Midway through 2, Toronto 1, New York 0. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in.
Back to the Grubhub Spelling Bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Home second inning indoors at Rogers Center tonight with Arden Zwelling. I'm Ben Wagner. The Blue Jays, courtesy of George Springer, and his 24th of the year, started off with a 1-0 lead. Leadoff home run by Springer. Blue Jays then fell in order, so Matt Chapman, Teoscar Hernandez, and Raimel Tapia set to follow against Jamison Tyone. Tyone started in the big leagues with the Pittsburgh Pirates and then traded to New York. First pitch to Chapman, popped up in front of the first base dugout, and then angling back towards the seats, foul for strike one. Tyone posting the second most wins in the major leagues that he's ever had. 13 victories this year through 30 starts. He was a 14-game winner, making 32 turns of the rotation in 2018 with the Pirates. Right-hander fires. This is low. 1-1 strike. First rounder selected second overall in 2010 by the Pirates. Big guy. Pitch off the outside, called a strike, and it's 1-2. Now 30 years of age. 6 feet 5 inches. And a full frame at 230. 1-2. Just missed outside. That's the curveball. Tyone tried to land it after he extended the outside corner on the prior pitch. Infield, back outfield, playing straight away. The 2-2. Bounced out to the shortstop. Connor Falefa's got it. A stronger throw, and just in time to get Chapman, who thinks he might have been safe. John Schneider already raising his hand. But there's more trouble, not with the arm, but the internal clock of Isaiah Connor Falefa. He's making way too many plays close at first base.
We saw this throughout last night's game. There was close plays at second base on force outs, close plays at first base on routine grounders. I do think there is a little bit of an adjustment that needs to be made with Connor Falefa's clock, because some of these plays should be routine outs at the big league level, and they are awfully close thanks to his throws.
Oscar Hernandez bats. Takes the first pitch down and away from Tyone. Last night was not a clean game for the New York Yankees. Some of the stuff very visible in the box score. Other things, just not crisp. 1-0. Hernandez checks the swing. Does he take wide? On the appeal to first, then go around. First base umpire Brian Onora. Tripp Gibson in the middle of the diamond. Last night, the emphatic Laz Diaz had the plate, so he's umpiring third tonight. The 2-0. Lined off to the right. 2 balls and 1 strike. Teoscar has had quite the turnaround over the last couple of weeks. After being in a little bit of a rut, he has rebounded to go 10 for his last 28 at the plate with 7 extra base hits. Back into the wind, but 2-1. Pulled foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hernandez.
And this is not what you want to see. It looks like he fouled it right off of his foot. And we know Teoscar Hernandez has had problems with contusions on both feet from fouling balls off of his feet. He's going for a long, extended walk around the home plate cutout right now.
That is the absolute point of impact with Teoscar Hernandez that have given him so much trouble. And you could see the ripple effects as well from Hernandez in those weeks after fouling a ball. And the first of the two was against the New York Yankees when we were in the Bronx back in August. And then in short order, once again, another ball making impact on the top of his foot, more x-rays and imaging, and that has continued. He is definitely fighting through the pain. 2-2. Half swing and a miss. Boy, he was really twisted up, and that swing might be a byproduct of how his lead left foot feels right now in the batter's box.
Yeah, he fouled that ball right off of his left foot, took a very long walk, and then a quite uncomfortable swing on that Tyone slider. It'll be something to keep an eye on. Look, you foul a ball off the top of your foot, there's no protection there on the cleat. There's no protection there from your body in terms of muscle mass. That is just the bone on your foot you're fouling that ball off of. That doesn't feel great the next morning. It doesn't feel great the next week and the next month. Those are injuries you carry for the rest of the season.
Raimel Tapia with a chopper on the left side of the diamond. Kiner Falefa charges in. Quick exchange onto first, just in time to get the out. Well, the clock was certainly accelerated for Kiner Falefa on that bounding ball. Once it veered past Josh Donaldson's extended arm, Tapia thrown out on a bang-bang play at first base to retire this side. We're going to the third. Aaron Judge will bat third for the New York Yankees. Next, the Blue Jays 1, the Yankees nothing. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This game tip is brought to you by the always game-ready Jack.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia. That's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. Like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
8-9-1 to bat for the New York Yankees, here to open up the third inning. It's being brought to you by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Feed your wild side, baseball fans. Blue Jays 1, Yankees nothing. Fourth batter of the ball game gave us a score. A leadoff homer from George Springer. Now Jose Berrios rocks into the line. The pitch of Higashioka is a liner into center field, a base hit. Leadoff knock and the second base runner for New York.
Yeah, first pitch strikes are a good thing. Maybe fastballs sitting up on a tee like this one, not so good. That is 94 middle to Kyle Higashioka, who is no Aaron Judge, but is a big league hitter and can turn that pitch around at 108 miles per hour. Yankees in business.
That's the two-seamer that had the run right back over the middle of the plate. That is the pitch in the spot that has given Jose Berrios So much trouble when he struggles. Runner at first for Aaron Hicks. Not in the lineup last night. That's left-handed. The pitch. Four-seamer on the outside corner, strike one. We saw a heavy dose of the four-seamers on the inside, on the outside. Better location from Jose Berrios in the first and second innings.
That two-seamer especially can be a problem with these left-handed hitters especially.
The 1-0. Curveball backdoors him. Over for a called strike, and it's 0-2.
Not a ton of lefties in this Yankees lineup tonight for Jose Berrios, but he's got to be careful with that pitch to them, because if it sits out there over the heart of the plate, they can take it for a ride.
Oswaldo Cabrera, the first of the switch hitters with Aaron Hicks, and then the true left-handed batter is Anthony Rizzo. The 0-2, a little tapper off the end of the bat, bounding up the third base line, just foul. You could see that Hicks was fooled, so he just tried to spoil it away to the left and try to keep it fair. If he keeps it fair, he might have a double with the way that the Blue Jays shift. Thankfully, it's wide of the line. No balls and 2 strikes on Hicks. Shift to the right. Berrios with the runner at first. Deals to the plate, and it's hit high in the air, right center field. Springer back at the wall, sets up at the track, makes the catch. Long way back for George Springer to his left in front of the out-of-town scoreboard. He hauls it in, 1 down.
Exactly what we're talking about. Two-seamer that ran over the heart of the plate. Hicks took it for a ride, but to an awfully deep part of the ballpark.
Now the bat boy asks for time because the home plate umpire needs a new set of baseballs individually marked to help authenticate a historic home run if it leaves the lumber of Aaron Judge. 60 home runs this season. He bats with 1 out and 1 on here in the third. The right-hander brings it home, and it's pulled foul on the ground for strike 1. Judge hit the ball hard his first time up, lining out to third base. 1 for 3 last night, had a single in the first inning. A decisive moment in the ball game for the Blue Jays manager, what to do with Aaron Judge late. Blue Jays skipper held up 4 fingers. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike on Judge. Hit the landmark 60th to tie him with Babe Ruth and then move 1 behind Roger Maris for the American League home run record. That was Tuesday against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's gone 5 for 18 with 5 walks and an intentional pass since. Certainly not scuffling the way that the barrel finds the baseball. The 1-1 is low. Fastball missed, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Aaron Judge, Jose Berrios, they have certainly met before and in big moments. During a wild card game, pitching with the Minnesota Twins, Judge hit a home run off of Berrios. The 2-1 pitch, check swing. Fastball's on the outside corner, and it's 2-2. A more dynamic energy around the pitch selection with the fans in tonight's ball game versus last night. Every pitch, the fans were on the edge of their seats, oohing, eyeing, everybody holding cameras out, and eerie silence arrives. And the 2-2 is a curveball low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's not quite as silent as what it was in the Bronx over the last week or so. It's almost like one of the Raptors going to the free throw line with mere seconds left on a clock in a tie game, where a building goes almost completely silent. Just a little murmur around the pitch selection of Berrios. 3-2 is low, ball 4.
A lot of respect shown to Aaron Judge in that plate appearance by Jose Berrios. Everything was down for the pitches, too far down to even generate much of a swing from Aaron Judge, who took them to take his free base. Obviously, Jose Berrios, in the words of Kevin Gosman, does not want to be a trivia answer, so he didn't want to leave anything up to Aaron Judge. Walks him, and now he's got 2 runners on for one of those dangerous left-handed hitters, again, be careful with the two-seamer because Anthony Rizzo would love to put it into his team's bullpen.
32 home runs for Anthony Rizzo. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner with a changeup, which Berrios will use, especially against left-handed batters, a little more frequently than going righty on righty with the off-speed toss. Blue Jays will shift to the right on the diamond. Outfield laid up evenly with Tapia, Springer, and Hernandez. 0-1. Swinging a ground ball into the shift. Past the dive of Merrifield. Slips into right. A base hit. Higashioka turns the corner at third. He'll come in to score. First to third for Aaron Judge. The game tied on an Anthony Rizzo RBI single.
Yeah, not a terrible pitch by Jose Berrios. It was another changeup just running off the plate, and Rizzo gets just enough wood on it to hit it through a hole in the infield. Not often that he's looking at a full infield when he's playing the Blue Jays. He was this time, and he's just able to push this ball beyond the outstretched glove of Whit Merrifield. Wasn't hit terribly hard, just 84 miles per hour off the bat, but was hit to the perfect spot. Jose Berrios gives up a run.
Split the difference between the shifted Bichette and Merrifield. 1-1 game. First pitch to Gleyber Torres. Wound up, tried to hold back the swing on the appeal, didn't. That's a strike for Berrios. A lot of home runs in the top third of this Yankee lineup. Of course, the 60 with Aaron Judge, 32 home runs with Anthony Rizzo. The power is back for Gleyber Torres. He has 24 home runs this season. First and third, one down. Bounding ball up the middle, a base hit into center field. New York on top. Judge comes in on an RBI single for Gleyber Torres. 2-1 Yankees.
That was not as good of a pitch as the one that was thrown to Anthony Rizzo. This is a curveball that sits up on the plate for Gleyber Torres, and he scorches it back up the middle. You know, the good news for Jose Berrios is he's worked ahead of every hitter he's faced tonight. 12 first pitch strikes to 12 batters, but he hasn't put anyone away when he's gotten ahead of them, especially not here to Gleyber Torres. That's a curveball that sits up on the plate. Gleyber stays with it, hits it back up the middle. Here's Pete Walker for a word with Jose Berrios.
3 singles, 4 out of 5 coming to the plate have reached against Berrios here in the third inning. Yankees 2, Blue Jays 1. Last night we were on pins and needles. Runs were at a premium. A lot of contact early tonight between Tyone and Berrios. 2-1 New York. Runners on at first and second, 1 out. Josh Donaldson, the batter. Pitch for the right-hander. Fastball misses low. That's ball 1. What a pregame for Josh Donaldson out here, very busy. He's like the mayor. I mean, he has so many friends, family around the ballpark when the New York Yankees visit now. And he's done this tour with Atlanta and with Cleveland and as well with Minnesota a couple of times. The 1-0. Fastball over the knees, a called strike, even the count at 1-1. So you can see him surrounded by a lot of people before the game and certainly after the game where he welcomes a lot of them on the field. But today was especially unique for Josh Donaldson because in the offseason, he spends a lot of time in the GTA with his girlfriend and their family, going to Leaf games. And when Austin Matthews hit the field, guess who emerged out of that first base dugout? 1-1, swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Josh Donaldson came out, was chatting up Austin Matthews, who's on the field before the ball game. Throughout the ceremonial first pitch, and is down in the seats here at Rogers Center. His season will get started with the Toronto Maple Leafs on October the 12th. That's the opener. 1-2, swing and a miss. A fastball on the inside edge. Donaldson couldn't get down to it. 4th strikeout for Berrios.
Yeah, you like to see that from Berrios rallying and coming back after allowing the 2 runs earlier in this inning. He actually fell behind Josh Donaldson, first batter. He hasn't thrown a first pitch strike to, then comes back to get him on 3 consecutive pitches. This is what Jose Berrios needs to do in this spot, arrest the damage. How many times, Ben, have we seen starts spiral when they start like this for him?
Giancarlo Stanton, the batter, looks at a curve outside, ball 1. And it's not just the hits, the run totals at all. It's the pitch count. Jose Berrios has had a couple of outings where his pitch count has absolutely unraveled early. The 1-0. Fastball poured across, and it's a called strike. Think about opening day, 45 pitches in that first inning. It was an early departure against the Tampa Bay Rays. His last time on the hill. 74 pitches and gone in 2 innings. 1-1. Fastball's too tight. 2 balls and 1 strike on Stanton.
He just threw his 50th of this outing, which is certainly better than the figures you just cited. Still not ideal. Blue Jays would like him to be a bit more efficient than this, but he really needs to find a way to keep the Yankees right where they are and get out of this inning.
The 2-1. Apathy's a called strike, evens it up on Stanton. Rizzo, the lead runner at second. Gleyber Torres behind him, both with RBI singles. New York now owns a 2-1 lead. The 2-2. Fastball, strike 3 call. Got him looking at 97. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jose Berrios. He's got 5 on the night. Minimizes the damage. Yankees 2, Blue Jays 1, midway through the third. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia. That's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
The listening you love is on the free Odyssey app. Your trusted local radio stations, coverage of your favorite teams, live news from your hometown, and millions of podcasts on demand. Best of all, you can completely customize your listening experience. Follow topics you care about, like leagues and teams. Pause or rewind your local sports and news, and add shows to your queue to catch up later. There's a lot to listen to, so get started and download the free Odyssey app today.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
George Springer with a go-ahead 2-run homer
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
You knew this was coming.
Last of the third at Rogers Center from our Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Blue Jays trail 2-1 against the New York Yankees. The right-hander Jameson Taillon will work on Whit Merrifield, Kevin Biggio, and George Springer. Pitch to Whit. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Merrifield had the hot bat when the Blue Jays needed him the most. They lost the glove of Santiago Espinal. That put a little bit of a wrench into the system that John Schneider had been using. Kevin Biggio, Whit Merrifield, Santiago Espinal, all in a rotation of playing time. 0-1 cut on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Merrifield is certainly accustomed to playing each and every day. His string started that spanned over 500 games of consecutive play. I mean, we're not talking about Cal Ripken Jr. here, but it's still an impressive modern-day feat for Merrifield to be in the lineup like that. 0-2. Rolled on the ground. Diving stop made by Donaldson. Pops up from the hole. Long throw to first. Dig not made by Rizzo. Merrifield is safe. What a play by Josh Donaldson even to stop that ball deep in the hole at third when laying out to his left. And now has to clear himself of a ton of clay that built up on his jersey, deep into his glove, shaking out the belt buckle. Made the throw, tumbling from one knee. Rizzo gave it a valiant effort, but Merrifield with good speed starts the third inning with a leadoff infield single.
Yeah, Merrifield played 553 consecutive games with the Kansas City Royals. It was the longest streak in the majors since Miguel Tejada played 1,152 from 2000 to 2007. So it's just not something that occurs in the modern game.
Certainly does not. Here's a move to first. Courtesy check on Merrifield and his 16 stolen bases. Witt in the lineup, so is Kevin Biggio. Biggio getting Vladimir Guerrero Jr. a half day off. Glad he's DHing. Biggio playing at first. Left-handed batter. Starts to square, pulls back. Fastball in there for a called strike one. Witt's arrival is twofold. One, without Santiago Espinal, who's going to be down likely until the very last series of the season. There is a sliver of a chance that Espinal could get activated in Baltimore. Another move to first. Merrifield falls back. So Witt with his glove, now with his bat, both playing a lot of second base. And then Kevin Biggio, who is really hitting well through August and then the start of September, is now kind of sputtering. 0 for his last 11 at the plate. Long hold. Another step by Merrifield. He stays. Biggio tracks inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now it's 2 for his last 32 at the dish. Mentioned Santiago Espinal. You have to also mention Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and his return to play program. That's ahead of Santiago's. Blue Jays are hopeful maybe by the weekend Lourdes gets back in. 1-1. Swinging a high fly ball up the right field line, but turned foul. 1-2 on Kevin Biggio. Injury report brought to you by Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life has thrown you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. Your cleanup hitters. Visit vplawyers.ca.
Matt Olson, by the way, has the current Iron Man streak in MLB at 288 games. So about halfway to the one that Merrifield surrendered this year.
1-2. Biggio takes high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's doing it in 2 different leagues, too. Matt Olson, of course, acquired out of Oakland by Atlanta.
Probably only like 15 seasons behind Cal, something like that.
2 decades. Olson's having a really good year in Atlanta. Runner at first. Blue Jays trailing early. Runner goes. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back.
It's interesting the machinations as well with Santiago Espinal on the IL, because you think about it, Santiago Espinal is the Blue Jays' primary backup shortstop to Bo Bichette. He's on the IL now, so what happens if Bo Bichette goes down? Well, Otto Lopez is on the roster, and he could play short. Or Matt Chapman could play short as well. I don't think it's out of the question that Matt Chapman could play shortstop in a pinch. The Blue Jays ran into trouble with Bo Bichette.
I asked John Schneider about that as Biggio takes on the outside corner, strike 3. The curveball this time landed by the right-hander, freezing Biggio. 4th strikeout for Tayo. So that also creates a hole at third base, which Kevin Biggio went into last season looking like he would be the primary everyday third baseman. But the Blue Jays really not committing to that. That's why they've had Gabriel Moreno taking ground balls frequently, and I mean frequently, part of the pregame routine at third base, just in case something comes up that they're not wanting to have happen, but they're at least planning if it does have to happen. Move towards first base to check in on Merrifield, who's been busy.
Yeah, I've seen Moreno out early with the infielders, doing those drills with Luis Rivera and Gil Kim, taking the balls fired off the pitching machines, using the smaller gloves, the whole progression that guys like Santiago Espinal and Bo Bichette and Matt Chapman go through before games. Moreno's putting in the work in case he has to play third base for this club.
Pitch out, nobody moves.
Seen Moreno take some fly balls in center field as well. Like, this isn't a plan. The Blue Jays aren't saying we intend to use Gabriel Moreno in center field or at third base, but you could get into a situation down the stretch or even into the postseason where, because of substitutions, pinch runners, pinch hitters, you're thinking, well, our best option at third base right now is our third string catcher.
1-0. George Springer takes low. 2 balls and no strikes on Springer.
I can just see it now, Ben, the wild card game that is like tied in the 12th inning. And for some reason, Bo Bichette's come out of the game, and Matt Chapman's playing shortstop, and Gabriel Moreno's playing third, and John Schneider is just managing his rear end off to try to get his team a win.
Pitch to Springer. Fastball inside. 3 balls and no strikes.
It's not out of the question.
Blue Jays trailing 2-1. 1 down, runner at first. 3 defenders on the diamond. Move to the left. 3-0. Springer cracks it foul. Hit it sharply up the third baseline for strike 1.
We can't get ahead of ourselves, but this would impact postseason roster decisions as well. The Blue Jays are going to have to look to make in about a week's time, as they very likely enter a wild card series.
3-1 pitch. Popped him up. Shallow in center. Judge coming forward. Out goes Torres. In from right. Screams Cabrera, calling for it for out number 2. Now, we were talking with General Manager Ross Atkins about postseason roster decisions, and you cannot have more than 13 pitchers on your roster, but you can have less than 13 pitchers on your roster. So the Blue Jays could conceivably go into the best of 3 in a wild card scenario with less than 13 pitchers, just so they could build up some depth and maneuverability to deepen that bench. Lourdes isn't 100%. If Espinal isn't 100%. Bo Bichette, the batter, swings at the first pitch and hits it high in the air. Out to center field. This will drift Judge to his left. He'll make a one-handed catch and retire the side. Leadoff single, nothing more for the Blue Jays. We'll go to the 4th. New York 2, Toronto 1. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
DoorDash, dash that deliciously sweet, dash that spicy heat, dash that craving with $0 delivery fees on your first order. Only from DoorDash. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash.com.
Find a car today, a much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca.
Well, Jerry, this old world has sure thrown us a curveball.
And how? I mean, as much as I love mass transit, I'd rather be driving my own buggy. But good luck finding the car you want in stock.
Guess where you'll find a huge online choice of in-stock new and used cars that'll just flip your wig. OntarioCars.ca.
Doris, you never steer me wrong.
That's OntarioCars.ca.
Be it a burst pipe or sewer backup in your home, Roto-Rooter can fix it, clean it, dry it, and if you decide to go through insurance, they can help reduce the hassle of your water damage insurance claim. Save yourself numerous calls and headaches. Roto-Rooter can do it all, there when you need them 24/7, with fast response service to keep your problem from becoming an insurance nightmare. Roto-Rooter has you covered.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain.
DoorDash, dash that deliciously sweet, dash that spicy heat, dash that craving with $0 delivery fees on your first order. Only from DoorDash. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash.com.
There goes another one. Teo just hit one way over the fence-o.
Guess who's come to play today?
Teoscar Hernandez goes yard on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Top of the 4th inning is being presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and even make a bet while a game is still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. For Rogers Center, where the Yankees have taken a 2-1 lead over the Blue Jays. Back-to-back RBI singles by Anthony Rizzo and Gleyber Torres. Puts George Springer's leadoff home run a little bit behind. Jose Berrios rocks into the windup. The switch hitting Oswaldo Cabrera swings to the first pitch, pops it up over the Blue Jay dugout. That'll land in the third base seats for strike one. Cabrera, Kiner-Falefa, and Higashioka. Your second look at Jose Berrios. Into the Wyme, the 0-1 pitch. Fastball cuts in. 1 ball and 1 strike. This inning, we'll take a tour around the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Game on, Canada. Help us celebrate 30 devilishly good years of being your Blue Jays headquarters. 1-1. On the outside corner, called strike. At St. Louis Bar and Grill, download the new app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. Always devilishly good. 1-2. Pulled foul. Stays 1 ball and 2 strikes on Oswaldo Cabrera. Light slate of Major League Baseball on Monday. Everybody going full throttle into the final full week of the regular season tonight, including a good one that we'll watch in Cleveland. The Guardians host the Tampa Bay Rays. 1-2. On a line out to shallow left center field. On comes Tapia. Can't get there in time. That just died into left center field, so no chance for Springer or Tapia. Cabrera serves his second single of the night. Start the 4th inning. What's so great about that one? Well, Tristan McKenzie's had an outstanding year for Cleveland. Will take the ball, 11 wins, a 304 earned run average. But it's also of note within the game because Tyler Glasnow will make his return to the big leagues. Glasnow will start tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch, a soft liner out to second base, flagged by Merrifield. Kiner-Falefa is retired.
Rays haven't had Glasnow since basically last summer. I want to say it's July, August. They went down with Tommy John surgery. It's been missing from action since, so that is a huge addition for them down the stretch. I'm sure that they'll be working with pitch limits, and they'll be very careful with them. Be interesting to see just how they use him in the postseason. They'll obviously put his health first and the future of his career. They'll keep that in mind, but when Tyler Glasnow is on, he's as good as anyone.
Shane Bieber gets the opener tonight for Cleveland in that series against the Rays. Jose Sirius homered 7th time this season. A 4-3 Tampa Bay lead in the 5th. Kyle Higashioka at the plate. 1 on, 1 out. The pitch. Flied out to right field, pushing Hernandez back. Plenty of room to work in front of the Yankee bullpen. 2 down.
I mean, when Glasnow went down, he had a 2.6 ERA and 123 strikeouts over 88 innings.
He's going to be part of a problem for somebody. Will it be the Blue Jays? Don't know. Blue Jays own the top spot in the wild card. They could host the Tampa Bay Rays right here at Rogers Center in the best of 3. Aaron Hicks, the batter. Takes a curve on the outside. Strike 1.
Yeah, all possibilities still on the table, but in this wild card race, the first finisher, so the first wild card team hosts one of the wild card series against the second place finisher. The third place wild card team goes on the road, very likely to play the Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland.
0-1. Hicks takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. If it were to start today, that would be the exact scenario. You've got the Blue Jays, you've got the Rays, then you have the Mariners, and then the Cleveland Guardians already securing their postseason berth.
So the Mariners would go to Cleveland to play 3 against the Guardians. Tampa Bay would come to Toronto for 3 at Rogers Center.
1-1. Swing and a miss. Big hack by Hicks. Out in front of the changeup, and it's 1-2.
All 3 games played in the same ballpark with the home team, the home club, batting last in all 3.
And make no bones about it, the Blue Jays very openly are saying the goal of the postseason is to host. And the Blue Jays would have that opportunity to host the first round if they win the wild card. A move towards Spurs, leaning a little bit. Cabrera hustles back. It's been a little slow on the return trigger. Berrios was checking in on him back in the second inning.
Blue Jays are in the driver's seat right now. If they just hold serve from here through to the end of the season, only 8 games remaining for the Blue Jays, 8 for Tampa Bay, 9 for Seattle.
1-2. Strike 3 called. Hicks does not like that call. Berrios gets a massive break. He gets his 6th strikeout as Hicks goes down looking. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Midway through the 4th, Yankees 2, Blue Jays 1. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Every All-Star.
From Grubhub's glossary, Euphoria, the total bliss of food meeting your mouth and your expectations. As in, one bite of fettuccine sent Kevin into an overwhelming state of euphoria.
Mamma mia. That's good.
Satisfy all your food moods with Grubhub. On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Hasta la pasta.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for stories about Black culture, Black news, all Black everything? Then listen and subscribe to the podcast Beyond Black History Month. From influential newsmakers like Soledad O'Brien.
I try to use Twitter to explain this thing is not good, but let me explain to you why it's not good. And let's talk about what framing is.
To why Game of Thrones fans can believe in dragons, but not a Black Targaryen. Or Valerion, technically. Find Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Do we have a moment of panic here at Rogers Center? First off, a moment of recognition. 1,000 career strikeouts for Jose Berrios as he got Aaron Hicks to go down looking for the New York Yankees. That'll bring the Blue Jays to the plate, trailing 2-1, moving into the bottom of the 4th inning. But as that inning comes to an end, Alejandro Kirk throws the baseball down to Matt Chapman, who then chucks it into the seats. That made a couple of Blue Jays on the far end of the dugout, realizing the moment, spring into action, and you start yelling into the seats. Hold on. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. opens the at-bat for Toronto. He takes low, ball 1. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Gabriel Moreno, Santiago Espinal, Hector LeBron, the interpreter for the Blue Jays. He was at the end of the dugout as well, the 1-0. This is lowered away with a curve. Tyone behind 2 balls and no strikes. The Bat Boys went down to the front row just beyond the third base dugout and the cameras, trying to flag down the fan to explain what had happened. The 2-0. On the outside corner, a called strike, and it's 2-1. So is this the first moment of panic on our night of a ball that goes into the seats? The 2-1 pitch. Guerrero takes a fastball on the inside corner, and it's 2-2.
Shouldn't be too hard to get Jose Berrios' ball back. I mean, Aaron Judge's 61 or 62 might be a bit of a different negotiation. I don't know that there's $2 million standing offer for Jose Berrios' 1,000th strikeout call.
The negotiations at the auction block. The 2-2, very high. Fastball at 95 miles an hour above the visor of Guerrero. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Vladdy.
Literally a $2 million standing offer is on the market right now for Judge's home run ball number 62.
The 3-2 pitch. In the air, up the line and right. Long run in for Cabrera. Still on the move, makes the catch. Crossing the foul line up the right field side, 1 down. You know, it's interesting. Today is the anniversary of Mark McGwire hitting his 70th home run with the St. Louis Cardinals. The fan that caught the ball only wanted maybe another memento and a chance to meet Mark McGwire. Mark McGwire said no. The fan left with the baseball and then put it on the auction block and became $3 million richer. It could have been a seamless transaction. Instead, oh my goodness. Alejandro Kirk digs in, swing and a miss, strike 1. Do you have a price? Do you have a price on what you would
what I would pay?
What you would retire on? No, pay. No. Pay. The 0-1. Fouled back, no balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, I would put it up to the highest bidder. And if Mr. Judge wants to enter the bidding, I believe he's earning a $19 million salary this year.
You know what I would say?
Enter the bidding.
I would say, Aaron, I know you're good for it. You're going into a contract year. Just think about me.
Yeah.
Kirk's 0 for 1. The 0-2. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Maybe my price would be like a percentage of his next contract.
That's a good one, actually.
Or an ownership stake in Aaron Judge Industries. So a percentage of every endorsement, every contract from here on out.
Infield back, the 1-2. Fastball's up and out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's the way to do it.
Or just an ownership stake in the Yankees. I'd take that too. I'm not asking for much. Give me a percent.
The 2-2. Check swing by Kirk. Pitch is called strike 3. Pick the bottom outside corner. Tyler gets the punch out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 4th inning. We're in the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth this evening. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Blue Jays trailing 2-1.
You catch that ball, you turn around and you walk out the building as quickly as possible. Don't say a word to anyone. And you go home and you think about what you're going to do.
Chapman hits the first pitch in the air out to deep center field. Judge is underneath it. He'll make the catch. And the Blue Jays are retired 1-2-3 here in the 4th inning. Aaron Judge makes the catch. He'll have his baseballs exchanged with the home plate umpire because he's going to lead off the 5th inning next. Blue Jays and Yankees move into the 5th. New York 2, Toronto 1. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for stories about Black culture, Black news, all Black everything? Then listen and subscribe to the podcast Beyond Black History Month. From influential newsmakers like Soledad O'Brien.
I try to use Twitter to explain this thing is not good, but let me explain to you why it's not good. And let's talk about what framing is.
To why Game of Thrones fans can believe in dragons, but not a Black Targaryen. Or Valerion, technically. Find Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
MLB Network is back in action for the new season.
Let me get a little more.
And we've got 2 new shows to prove it. At 3 Eastern, sit back and celebrate the game in a new way with Off Base.
Taking this thing to an entirely different level.
Then at 5 Eastern, get all the baseball and betting news on Pregame Spread.
We'll look at baseball from a wide lens, maybe stumble into a few laps.
So get a little more this season. Weekdays on MLB Network. This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low line drive played on a bounce by Bichette. Runs into the bag himself. Snaps the throw to first. A dig by Guerrero to get the out.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
This 5th inning is being presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can bet on things like player props, totals, or money lines across many different sports. 19 plus. Play responsibly. Ontario only. Fingers are probably very active with this at bat at Bet365 as Aaron Judge heads to the batter's box. Tonight 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Into the windup. Berrios deals. And the first pitch, a fastball over for a called strike 1. Blue Jays had a 1-0 lead, a leadoff home run by George Springer. The Yankees got 4 of the first 5 to the plate on. And then back-to-back singles by Rizzo and Torres gave New York a 2-1 lead. 0-1. Fastball just a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. All eyes on number 99. The 1-1. Check swing. And the curveball's taken away. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Roger Maris family has been represented since the start of last week when the New York Yankees had Aaron Judge at number 59. The 2-1. Just down and in. Changeup went righty on righty. Judge in front, 3 balls and 1 strike. Berrios thought that pitch was good enough to get called a strike, but it was down and in. So it's 3-1. Judge's mother is here. His wife is alongside. 3-1. Judge with a check swing. Fastball on the outside corner. That'll keep him at the plate with a 3-2 count. The 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Second walk of the night, Aaron Judge.
What did Aaron Judge say the other day? That home runs are thrown, not hit. And Keith argue he wasn't throwing anything to hit in that plate appearance. Jose Berrios has been very careful with Aaron Judge all night. He was again there. Issues the leadoff walk.
That is exactly the line. Home runs are thrown, not hit. Aaron Boone has mentioned it. John Schneider has brought it up the last couple of days. And I asked Danny Jansen, what makes the Blue Jays so successful on Aaron Judge? How to keep him in the ballpark? What leads to the success of the Blue Jays? Not an individual matchup here or there, just overall. It's a pitch execution. We have to execute the pitches no matter what we select. Anthony Rizzo at the plate. Fastball strike on the inside corner. And it's 0-1 on Rizzo. Rizzo got New York on the board with an RBI single back in the 3rd inning. Cashed in the leadoff knock in that frame by Kyle Higashioka. Then Torres singled to drive home Judge. 2-1, New York. We're in the 5th. 0-1. High fly ball, shallow in center. Bichette racing back from the shift. Here comes Springer. Bo's calling for it, and the outfielders let Bichette make the attempt, and he can't reel it in. Bo was drifting into deep right center field. Springer and Hernandez very passive on their challenge. Everybody's safe. Judge stands at second. Rizzo aboard with the lob shot at first base.
And all 3 individuals walk away looking dumbfounded that this ball fell in. Should be caught 100 out of 100 times at the major league level. Bo Bichette was the closest to it, but that was just because George Springer and Teoscar Hernandez eased up as Bo was going after it. On that play, an outfielder really needs to take the charge, needs to call Bo Bichette off, grab that ball, and get Jose Berrios an out.
Blue Jays talk a lot about playing in sync, making sure they're in sync, offensively, defensively, blocking pitches in the dirt, taking extra 90 feet, getting good reads, challenging arms, perhaps that they think are suspect when they're running the bases. That's one of the things, in sync. David Phelps forced to start to loosen up. It's been a high pitch count tonight for Jose Berrios. He's already over 70 pitches, working here in the 5th. And there's nobody out with runners on at first and second. There's the pitch to Gleyber Torres, and he fouls it away to the right for strike 1.
Imagine something like that happening in a playoff game. You just can't have it. As a team, you have to play tighter baseball. You have to be in sync. Like you said, that ball needs to be caught.
First and second for New York in the 5th inning. Torres is 1 for 2. Drove home a run with a single back in the 3rd. Right-handed batter. Berrios comes inbound. Curveball down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Josh Donaldson standing out on deck. Game 2 for Toronto and New York. Series wraps up tomorrow night. 1-1. Fastball, Epineza called strike, and it's 1-2.
That ball is in the air for over 6 seconds. 1% hit probability. Should have been a George Springer catch in shallow center field.
I'm with you. I think that's the center fielder's ball the entire way. The 1-2 pitch. Hold of the ground. Past the dive of Chapman into left field. A base hit. Judge cuts the corner at third. He'll lumber towards the plate and score. It's an RBI double. And the throw goes to third. Rizzo is tagged out. Rizzo isn't so sure. He thought he slipped in under the tag attempt by Matt Chapman. The Yankees don't look like they have any interest in reviewing that play. That ball got past the dive of Chapman. Judge hit the bag at third. He was coming home. Tapia with a throw that went to third base, not second. And Laz Diaz punched out Rizzo. Yankees run into an out on the bases. Runner stands at second. 3-1 New York. Pitch to Donaldson. Fastball over for a called strike one.
That's how baseball goes, isn't it? You walk the leadoff man, you let a catchable ball fall in behind him, and then Gleyber Torres gets that Jose Berrios sinker again. Remember, same pitch that he laced in the third inning to plate Judge.
Strike in on Donaldson.
And he laces it again here in the fifth to plate Judge. He likes that two-seamer from Berrios. Second time he's put it in play at a high rate of speed. Judge should have never been at second base with the ball that fell in.
0-2. Fastball's away. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Donaldson. Scoring clarification, they will give Torres a single, not a double. Give Torres a single and advance to second base on a throw that went to third. 1-2. Out of play up the right field line. One run in here in the fifth, 1 out. Torres stands at second. 3-1 Yankees.
Berrios about to throw his 80th pitch here. Got some help from the defense behind him and getting that out at third base. He'd like to get his third strikeout of Josh Donaldson here.
1-2. And it's tapped off foul. In and out of the glove. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Donaldson.
Keeping this ball out of play would be huge. Get Berrios his second out. Give him a chance of getting through 5 innings. The Blue Jays would take 5 and dive with 3 runs in from Jose Berrios.
The 1-2. Ground ball struck towards short. Picked up by Bichette. High throw. Biggio had to leave the bag, and he can't come back down on the cushion to get the out. For the second time in this inning, plays not made by the Blue Jays. Yankees benefit with runners aboard, and they continue to threaten.
The second time this inning, the Bo Bichette's in the middle of it. It was him tracking back into center field after the Rizzo pop-up. And here he is again. Fields the ball cleanly, just goes with a quick throw when he probably doesn't need to, with Josh Donaldson moving up the line. Never had his feet planted through from that sort of Troy Tulowitzki-esque sidearm angle, and the throw just sails on him. Cavan Biggio comes off the bag. Here's Donaldson at first with Torres at third. Danger at the plate.
Giancarlo Stanton takes a fastball, and he offered at it. Stanton's got that closed stance at the plate. Called for going around. Torres on at third, Donaldson on at first. The pitch. Fastball's in tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, that play, looking at it in very slow motion provided by Sportsnet, that was a bang-bang play on the lunge with the glove of Cavan Biggio and the extension of the foot by Donaldson. It was close. 1-1. Check swing. Did he offer? He did. Offered at the curveball. 1-2.
It's Bo Bichette's 22nd error of the season. That is second in baseball. Important to remember, Bo Bichette plays every day. And there's a lot of defensive opportunities at his position. But still, 22 errors, trails only Javi Baez in the major leagues.
1-2 to Stanton. Fastball right down the chute, called strike 3. 96 miles an hour, center cut. Strikeout number 7 for Jose those kind of plays are magnified in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is high leverage. That's the benefit of changing scenes and series, because you get the day of rest that recalculates the bullpen, gets arms fresher. Oswaldo Cabrera digs in. Curveball down and in. That's ball one.
For Bo, it's so often been with his arm as well. 12 of those 22 errors are throwing errors.
Yankees 3, Blue Jays 1. 1-0. Over the outside, a called strike on Cabrera. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. As Waldo is a 2-for-2 day. 2-out single in the second. Led off the fourth with a base hit, but never moved. One. Bounce weakly out to second. Waiting on it, Merrifield. He's got it. Shuffle step, throw on to first in time. That will retire Cabrera and the New York Yankees. A leadoff walk, a couple of missed plays. The result, an extra run for New York. Middle of the fifth, Yankees 3, Blue Jays 1. This Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for stories about the Black community and you don't want to wait until, February? Then check out Beyond Black History Month, the podcast that tells inclusive stories year-round. Like how today's labor movement is connected to the civil rights movement, and why Black neighborhoods keep getting hit with water crisis after water crisis.
We're still being charged for water that we can't use.
Listen and subscribe to Beyond Black History Month on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
MLB Network is back in action for the new season.
Let me get a little more.
And we've got 2 new shows to prove it. At 3 Eastern, sit back and celebrate the game in a new way with Off Base.
Taking this thing to an entirely different level.
Then at 5 Eastern, get all the baseball and betting news on Pregame Spread.
We'll look at baseball from a wide lens, maybe stumble into a few laughs.
So get a little more this season. Weekdays on MLB Network.
With Sonopan,
Danny Jensen gets to see the best staff in baseball up close. The glass is held. This is Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Last of the fifth inning here at Rogers Center. The Yankees lead 3-1. Back in baseball control tonight, Brett Armstrong and Show Ali here in downtown Toronto at Rogers Center. Behind the scenes, Tom Young. Next to Arden Zwelling, I'm Ben Wagner. Teoscar Hernandez will open up the at-bat for Toronto. Raimel Tapia and Whit Merrifield set to follow against Jamison Tyone. Right-hander kicks and comes home. First pitch, curve that flutters in for a called strike one. Blue Jays have 2 hits in the ball game tonight. Their first left the yard. 0-1. Rolled on the ground towards third. Hugs the chalk. Scooped by Donaldson. Strong throw to first in time to get the out. One up and one down. Raimel Tapia, the batter. George Springer with the leadoff home run had Toronto on top 1-0. A 2-run third inning with singles from Rizzo and Torres producing runs. And then the Blue Jays gave the Yankees a couple of gifts in the fifth. RBI base hit by Gleyber Torres, driving home his second of the night, making it 3-1 Yankees. Tapia, the hitter, left-hand batter, takes a fastball inside, ball one. Blue Jays matched their season high with their walk-off win last night. Now 20 games over the 500 mark at 87-67. They've won 17 ball games here in the month of September. A 1-0. Hit the outside corner with a breaking ball. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Tapia. Blue Jays certainly love playing in September and in October. Had some of their best games of the season last year down the stretch. This September is no exception. The 1-1 on the outside corner, and it's 1-2 on Tapia. 17 wins, equal with the Houston Astros. The Cleveland Guardians have 1 more win. They're in action tonight, taking on the Tampa Bay Rays on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Last of the 6th inning, Tampa Bay in front 4-3 in Cleveland. 1-2 pitch. Rolled on the ground to the shortstop. Down to a knee, Connor Falefa, then pops up, throws to first, and there are 2 out. We're in the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth tonight. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save.
Man, remember when George Springer led this game off with a home run? Jameson Taillon has retired 13 of 14 since that point. Only the Whit Merrifield single in the 3rd. He's been cruising.
Here is Whit. Leadoff infield single. And he taps it towards Donaldson again, this time on the backhand in front of his thighs, corner to corner. And a 1-2-3 inning turned in by Jameson Taillon of the New York Yankees. Now make it 14 out of 15 retired from the right-hander. That gets this game into the 6th. Your score, New York 3, Toronto 1. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in full swing.
Hey guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games and maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important, give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us a couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Matt Spiegel, and I'm the host of the brand new podcast, Beat the Streak Daily. Every weekday this Major League season, I will update the state of Beat the Streak. The rules are simple. Each day, pick 1 or 2 players you think will get a hit. And if they do, your streak continues. Sounds doable, right? But so far, it's been impossible to win. And with millions of dollars on the line, no one has ever gotten to 56. Subscribe now to Beat the Streak Daily, wherever you get your podcasts, and play Beat the Streak for your chance to win $5.6 million.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
This is Calvin Biggio, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Lid locked tight here at Rogers Center with rain in the area, so we're indoors and moving to the 6th, presented by Bet365. Just download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. New York with a 3-1 lead. Isaiah Connor-Falefa will start it off against Jose Berrios. First pitch fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Isaiah Connor-Falefa, Kyle Higashioka, and then Aaron Hicks. 0-1. Missed outside. In the Blue Jay bullpen, Zach Pop is starting to loosen up. He was part of the equation if that inning got longer after Aaron Judge last night. 1-1. In the air, out to right center field. Retreating Merrifield underneath it, calling for it, squares up, makes the catch. Connor-Falefa is retired.
Yeah, I think that the leash will be pretty short on Jose Berrios here. John Schneider and Pete Walker are going to try to get him through a full 3rd trip of the New York Yankees batting order, but then it would be Aaron Judge at the top, and I would be surprised to see Jose Berrios get that assignment if either Kyle Higashioka or Aaron Hicks reaches base.
Higashioka singled to lead off the 3rd inning, came in to score. He's 1 for 2. The pitch for the right-hander, lined into right field, a base hit down near the line. Off into the corner, it'll slip past Hernandez. Higashioka digging for second. Hernandez with trouble at the base of the wall. A little bit of a bobble, easily into second base with a one-out double, Kyle Higashioka. New York has threatened in the third, the fifth, and now again in the sixth.
So if you're Schneider and Walker here, I think you give Berrios one more hitter. See what you can do against Aaron Hicks. And then when the big man's coming up, Aaron Judge, assuming there isn't some sort of a sneaky double play turned at second, which would be quite unlikely, I think Zach Pop gets Aaron Judge.
Aaron Hicks, the batter, takes a strike on the outside corner. Hicks batting ninth, has fly to center and struck out looking. The 0-1. Fouled off at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes on Hicks.
And if you're Berrios, you know that. You know that you're not getting Judge a fourth time. You're at 94 pitches. You're reaching back for everything. You're 0-2 against Aaron Hicks right now. You're trying to throw your nastiest pitch of the night, trying to leave this game with a strikeout.
Judge out on deck. The 0-2 pitch. On a line into right center field, down for a base hit. Up the alley and all the way to the wall. Higashioka will score easily. An RBI double for Aaron Hicks extends the New York lead, and it's 4-1 Yankees.
That was not Jose Berrios' nastiest pitch of the night. That was a curveball that sat up on the plate for Aaron Hicks, who laced it into the right center field gap. It's a double. It's a 4th run in, and here comes John Schneider.
He'll make the pitching change, brought to you by Certainty. Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Certainty Pro all the way. Blue Jays manager is out with 1 down, 1 in, and 1 in scoring position to make this pitching change, bringing in Zach Pop with Aaron Judge heading towards the plate against the Blue Jays right-hander when we come back from Baseball Control and Show Ali.
Thank you very much, guys. And before we get to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, some audio to listen to. Jordan Romano, the Blue Jays all-star closer, he was on the Fan Drive Time today with Ben Ennis. It was a pretty good chat. Here are Ben and Jordan discussing the usage of that slider versus that of his fastball when he enters late-game situations.
I guess it is a matchup thing sometimes, but other times it's like I could throw my slider for – I feel like more comfortable throwing it for strikes than my fastball. So when I'm in good counts, like it doesn't really matter what pitch I'm throwing, it's usually going to work out. But yeah, it's a weird thing when you have 2 pitches. It's like trying to find that fine balance, right? It's 50-50, right? So it's just trying to find that balance. And I'm sure sometimes I throw more sliders than I should, or sometimes I should have thrown a slider instead of a heater, but it's just every game's different. And I'm trying to find the balance as best as possible.
How unusual is that to have more control over the breaking ball, to have more confidence in throwing that one for a strike than the fastball?
Yeah, that's kind of been how I've always been, even throughout the minor leagues and in here. It's just like my strike percentage with my slider has always been higher. So it's sometimes like maybe people think I'm not like challenging the hitter with my fastball, but I really am, because I feel like the slider is the pitch I get more in the zone than my heater.
That's Jordan Romano on with Ben Ennis on the Fan Drive Time. Quick check on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Orioles at Red Sox. Tristan Casas, the 2-run homer, and lots of action with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. A hit by pitch, a walk, a 2-run single, another walk, and now an RBI sac fly. Boston now leads 8-3 at Fenway Park. That's the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Back to the Rogers Center we go on the other side of downtown Toronto. Here's Ben Wagner and Arden Zwelling with the call of tonight's game.
Every moment showed that Aaron Judge heads towards the plate. It is a certain scene here at Rogers Center. Cameras come out, fans come out of their chairs. Bit of a buzz builds with 60 home runs already notched on the belt of Aaron Judge. 0 for 1 tonight. He has been walked twice by Jose Berrios and scored both times. Yankees 4, Blue Jays 1. The right-hander is Zach Pop. And the pitch. Pulled on the ground down to third, foul. That's strike 1.
Interesting matchup here. Zach Pop throws that 97-mile-an-hour sinker. He'll run it up to 98 sometimes. Aaron Judge does very well against velocity, but if you're going to get Aaron Judge out, it's going to be down in the zone and even beneath it. So Zach Pop really has to locate that sinker down and not leave one up.
Fastball, sinker, slider combination from the right-hander. The 0-1 to Judge. Swing and a miss. He's in front 0-2. There's the good firm sinker at 98 miles an hour, 98.2 miles an hour from Zach Pop.
Down and in to Judge. Just a great location on that pitch. If Pop can live there, he'll be successful.
Runner at second. The right-hander comes home. And Judge takes the fastball low. 1-2 strikes. I was asking Zach Pop how he's pleased with making the adjustment, what he's heard from the coaches, what he's worked on since becoming a Blue Jay. He said, it's not necessarily the pitches that I'm working on. It's the shape of those pitches. Am I happy with that? The 1-2. Check swing foul. Back to the mesh.
And the Blue Jays do want Pop throwing his slider a bit more often than he was with Miami. He just threw it there to Judge, and Judge just kind of checked it off with a flick of the wrists. It's going to be interesting to watch the development of that pitch next spring and how Zach Pop deploys it next year. He's thrown it a bit more here down the stretch, but you're facing the best hitter on the planet. You should probably stick with your bread and butter.
Brampton, Ontario native, Zach Pop in the limelight right now. Rudder at second, one down. Judge at the plate. The 1-2. Fastball at 99 low. 2-2 strikes.
Pop wants a strikeout. You can hear him grunting from here. Got that sinker up to 99. It's 2-2 on Aaron Judge. Trying to keep this score close. A big spot for the young Canadian.
The right-hander stares in. The 2-2 pitch. Pulled foul. 2-2 strikes.
This is where it gets tough, right? Because now Judge has seen it. He's seen that sinker plenty of times. He's fouled it off. He's seen the slider. He's fouled that off. There isn't another pitch that Zach Pop's going to surprise Aaron Judge with.
Toronto trails 4-1. Runner at second base. One out. The 2-2 pitch. Down and in. Tried the backup slider. Moves the count to 3-2.
Yeah, just not a really competitive slider, though. It was never on the plate. It was never a strike. A really easy take for Aaron Judge, who's now in a 3-2 count. He's got to be looking for velocity.
Judge stares out. The ball twirls over the small of the back by Pop. Brings the hands together. And the 3-2 pitch. Judge takes low, ball 4. Third time tonight he's been walked. Runners on at first and second. Anthony Rizzo, the left-handed hitter, now looks out at the right-hander who's looking for something on the ground.
And this is going to be another challenge, is trying to keep that sinker out of that left-handed hitter's happy zone, that down and in. How many times, Ben, have we seen Anthony Rizzo just golf those down and in fastballs out of yards?
More and more over the last couple of years since he went to the Bronx. Runners aboard at first and second. Pop stares back. Looks back again. The pitch. Over for a called strike. That's the slider. 85-mile-an-hour pitch.
And if Zach Pop can land his slider for a strike to a left-handed hitter, he's going to be successful.
He becomes more of the right-handed version of Tim Meza for the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy sinker, good slider. Oh, 1 to Rizzo. Fouled back off to our left. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I mean, as a pitcher, inherently, you have the advantage. If you execute, if you locate, it's going to be really hard for hitters to square you up. What did Aaron Judge say? Home runs are thrown, not hit. If Zach Pop executes down in the zone, lands his slider for strikes, works to the edges, stays off the heart of the plate, he's going to have success.
One down, runners aboard, first and second. Dancing about. Pop's 0-2. Pulled foul. It's like synchronized base running right there when the runner at second, Aaron Hicks, and Aaron Judge both took that extra step as Pop went upright into the set position, just like they were in sync. They started to juke away from the second base and the first base, trying to get in the mind of the young right-hander. 26 years of age. The 0-2 to Rizzo is low. That's the slider that misses, and it's 1-2. When I was talking with Pop the other day in the clubhouse, I said, describe what you mean by the shape of your pitches. And I said, let's talk about the slider. And he clinches his two fists and he puts them up, staggered.
Yeah.
Right? Hand was a little higher, just in front of the shoulder. The left is there. And he said, when I'm talking about right-handed hitters, and he's shifting his fists around in front of his body, describing the pitches. The 1-2, a line drive caught at second base by Merrifield. Runners froze, so no play, 2 out.
Yeah, that tells you Zach Pop's a visual learner.
It's exactly my follow-up question. I said, all right, so you're a visual guy. Are you trying to use that then as you display your fists in front of me? Are you trying to look at the catcher? Is it the mitt? Is it the chest protector? Is it the shoulder, the setup? He said, there are different things, and I don't want to give away the state secrets, that I'm looking at as a catcher would set up. But also, I'm going to look at, when I go back to the video, and am I pleased with the way that my slider moves? 2 down for Gleyber Torres. Blue Jays down 4-1. The pitch. Torres tracks down and in.
Yeah, a lot of pitching development staffs will actually plot pitches for pitchers on his own and show it to them if they're visual learners, and kind of show them, like, this is what you should be picturing when you're on the mound. Try to recreate this diamond or this triangle or this diagonal line across the zone. This is what you're looking for.
1-0. Torres rolls it to the right side, and it'll beat the shift. Into right field, the Yankees will get another run. Blue Jays had Merrifield lined up in the middle of the diamond. A little chip shot from the bat of Torres. He singles home his third hit and his third RBI of the night. And it's 5-1 New York.
Yeah, Torres, just a pain in the butt for the Blue Jays all night long. It was a run-scoring single in the third, a run-scoring single in the fifth. And here's a run-scoring shift beater in the sixth to plate another run. He's barreled some balls tonight. That wasn't one of them. That was just a skipping ground ball against the shift that found the outfield.
That will close the book on Jose Berrios. Runners at first and second, now belonging to the right-hander, Pop. Josh Donaldson at the plate. Sliders away, ball 1. Donaldson struck out twice, 0 for 3 after reaching on an error. Long at bat for New York. The 1-0. Revved up and holding back the swing, but the pitch is there for a strike. 1-1 on Donaldson. Two down here in the sixth. Seventh hitter of the frame. 1-1. Slider in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. New York Yankees were only retired 1-2-3 one time tonight. That was the first inning, turned in by Jose Berrios. Officially goes 5 1/3 over 95 pitches, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He struck out 7 and walked 2. Outfield lined up straight away. The 2-1. Fastball called low. Close, but 3-1 on Donaldson. Won't get any easier. Giancarlo Stanton not on deck. David Phelps loosening in the bullpen for Toronto. Fourth batter against Pop. 3-1. Bounce towards third. Long 2 bounces handled by Chapman. Turns the corner to his own bag. Hits the force out to retire the side. A couple of more runs for the New York Yankees. They have 3 hits. They leave 2 aboard. Midway through the 6th, New York 5, Toronto 1. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Charlie Puth.
I just surround myself with my family. And if you don't really have a big family, just surround yourself with some of your closest friends. And it's pretty amazing how other people can lift one up just from their energy alone. Mental health in general is not to be looked down upon. It's a very serious thing, and it's important that your mind is healthy just as much as your body physically is healthy.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Plus taxes.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The Blue Jays walk it off on a sacrifice fly from Rydell Tapia.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
With the co-host of At the Letters podcast, Arden Swelling, I'm Ben Wagner. We're at Rogers Center tonight, moving into the home 6th inning. 9-1-2 batting for Toronto with Kevin Biggio, George Springer, and Bo Bichette. Yankees in front 5-1. 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 2 more in the 6th. The Blue Jays lone run from their leadoff man, who's out on deck, and George Springer. His career 52nd leadoff home run. Yankees roll the shift off to the right. All 3 outfielders are deep. And Jamison Taillon to spin at a gym. Here's the right-hander's pitch. On the outside half for a called strike 1. Biggio 0 for 1 in the ballgame. He went down looking in the 3rd. Blue Jays have just 2 hits, the Springer leadoff home run, and a 3rd inning that started with an infield single for Whit Merrifield. Swing and a miss by Biggio. No balls and 2 strikes.
Taillon about to throw his 65th pitch here in the 6th inning. He has been efficient.
Stingy. Pounding the strike zone. The 0-2 pitch. Up and out. Fastball, not chased by Biggio. 65 pitches, 43 strikes for Taillon. One-two. Grounded towards the right side. Scooped up by Rizzo. He'll find Taillon coming to cover the bag. On the tap out. 3-1. Back at the top of the order, George Springer.
I do love how calm Anthony Rizzo is as a first baseman. He is just never in a hurry, so sure of himself and his hands over there at first. For Taillon, it's really been a kitchen sink approach. Then he's been using the 4-seamer 19 times, the slider 15 times, curveball 12 times, sinker 10 times, cutter 7 times, and a couple changeups too.
First pitch over for a called strike. There's the big curveball from Taillon. Springer starts in the hole on 1.
Sure, Blue Jays fans love it when they see Ross Stripling doing it for their team. But you're not allowed to do it against us.
1 is low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's not so fun being on the other side.
No, it is not. The guessing game wearing blue and white tonight. 1-1. Inside on Springer. 2 balls and 1 strike. George had the leadoff home run that he flied to right field, batting in the 3rd. Pitch number 70 from Taillon. Springer beats the shift with a base hit into right field. He's got 2 hits tonight. Solo home run, straightaway center, and a base hit to right field. Blue Jays trying to make some noise. Looking ahead to the 7th inning, that's where the Yankees, when they bat, will bat. So the Blue Jays start to need to get some offense going, chip away at this 4-run deficit.
Yeah, George Springer trying to spark things as he does. He's got 2 hits here. Third trip through. Let's see if the Blue Jays have a better idea of just what Jameson Taillon's trying to do to them. He's been pretty unpredictable to this point.
Bichette looks out. Taillon deals. Swinging a line drive to the gap to right center field. That's down for a base hit. Cut off in the warning track by Judge. Springer will advance to third. Bo's digging for second. A head-first dive into the bag in front of the throw. It's a double for Bo. And then he popped out and came off.
Bo's been called out at second base for coming off the bag. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa stayed with him, kept the tag on his leg, and as Bo slid headfirst into second, the call is that he came off the bag.
Holy smokes.
It's challenging the out call at second base.
That's the voice of Laz Diaz, the third base umpire. Kiner-Falefa. Bo was sitting right on top of the second base bag. When he went to get up, there was a little bit of separation. Kiner-Falefa was all over this play. And the umpire stayed with it as well. You've heard the Blue Jays ask for the challenge, so the umpires are going to talk about it with New York.
Kiner-Falefa is behind Bo, and I'm not sure Bo's aware that he's there. And Bo is getting up after sliding in head first. He's trying to keep the right foot on the bag and also get the left hand on the bag. And the assertion from Tripp Gibson, the second base umpire, is that there was a little bit of separation that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa took advantage of.
Very stealth behind Bo Bichette, just watching that play as Bo started to rise after his headlong dive into second base. Looked like he was into a bear crawl motion over the second base bag, and as he was straightening himself up, that back right cleat may have rolled away from the corner of the bag, and Kiner-Falefa then decided to make contact with the ball into his glove. And Tripp Gibson, as you said, very emphatic, selling the call as if he was watching it, saying, I'm with you. I see what you did there. He called Bichette out.
And Bo seems resigned to his fate because he's no longer on the field. He's gone back to the Blue Jays dugout, so it seems like he's conceding that he was in fact out. It's not in the spirit of the rule, certainly, but look, the letter of the law is if you're not touching the base and a fielder touches you with the ball in their glove, you're out.
After review, the call stands, runners out, Toronto Blue Jays challenge.
Heady play by Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, just sneaking in behind Bo Bichette there. You can see Bo frustrated in the dugout. Can't believe that just happened to him. He's throwing his head back with his hands over his head. He's fuming right now. Tough night for Bo. You think about the play in shallow center. George Springer should have had that ball. Bo going after it, called him off, ball falls in. You think about the throwing error at short, and now this.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Swings at the first pitch and rips it up the left field line, and it is off the fence, down and in play. Guerrero digs for second. Here's the throw. Hicks on the money, the tag by Torres, and the Blue Jays get the out on the bases, but they will pick up the run from Springer. The Blue Jays all over the bases in this one, twice out on the bases. Vladdy with a hands first dive into second, reaching for the bag, thrown out on a good throw from Aaron Hicks, and that will retire the side. Blue Jays will score, and that's 5-2 New York. Well, this 6th inning is something the Blue Jays want to forget. We're going to the 7th. New York.
wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Football season is here. The new Odyssey app lets you stay connected to your NFL team, your station, your shows. Follow your favorite stations and come back again and again. Get real-time updates on everything you care about. Miss your show? Jump back with our awesome Rewind feature. The Odyssey app is NFL football, live and on demand, wherever you are, whenever you want. And did we mention it's all free? Download the Odyssey app today.
MLB Network brings you closer to the game. Watch MLB Tonight, baseball's show of record for breakdowns, analysis, and look-ins to live games.
Oh, Harold, will it get down? It will.
Then Quick Pitch zips through the highlights from every game and gives you a look ahead, all in one lightning-fast hour.
Another historic performance on Wednesday night.
Watch MLB Tonight every night and Quick Pitch late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network. Go to MLBnetwork.com to find your channel number.
What a strange finish to the sixth inning for the Toronto Blue Jays on back-to-back plays, cut down on the bases. They will pick up a run, barely, as George Springer walked across home plate just in front of a timing play for out number 3 at second base with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. thrown out by Aaron Hicks. Giancarlo Stanton will face David Phelps. First pitch in for a strike. The second swung on and missed, and it's 0-2 on Giancarlo Stanton. The Blue Jays trail the New York Yankees 5-2. We start the seventh inning with Stanton, Cabrera, and Kiner Falefa facing Phelps in the pitching change, brought to you by Certainteed Pro all the way.
Truly an untidy game for the Blue Jays tonight. 2 misplays in that sixth inning. Bo Bichette coming off the base at second. Isaiah Kiner Falefa sneaking behind him to apply the tag.
Swing and a miss by Stanton. He's down on strikes.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. laces the very next pitch into the left field corner. He thinks it's gone. He's watching it. He's not running hard out of the box. If he had been running hard, he would have cruised into second. He didn't, so he had to pick up the pace around first base, tried to get to second and stretch his single to a double. He's thrown out by Aaron Hicks. 2 outs made at second base by the Blue Jays.
Oswaldo Cabrera takes a strike on the top part of the zone, and it's 0-1. That's consecutive nights the Blue Jays thought that they've had home runs. The 0-1 pitch bounced in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Teoscar Hernandez in admiration mode. Last night thinking he had a grand slam. It hit the top of the wall. Then the oh my moment where he had to race up the first base line. He got into second. 1-1. Ground ball, tap right back to the mound. A bare hand grab by Phelps on to first in time. 2 outs in the seventh.
Okay, there's the best play the Blue Jays have made all night. David Phelps bare hands this Oswaldo Cabrera comebacker that comes right back at him as comebackers do. Really nice play by Phelps. So, I mean, you just add those 2 outs on the base paths to the Anthony Rizzo pop-up that fell between George Springer, Teoscar Hernandez, and Bo Bichette in shallow center. You add it to the Bichette throwing error on the Donaldson grounder. Not a crisp game for the Blue Jays.
Isaiah Kiner Falefa, who had the heady play on Bichette, steps in. 0 for 3 at the plate. Fastball from Phelps is outside, ball 1.
Add it to the list of things that need to be tidied up prior to the postseason.
Pitch is fouled back, and it's 1-1. Yeah, this is not the time where you want to be addressing the little things.
Yeah.
Out of the line, the 1-1. On the outside corner, good fastball. It's 1-2. Blue Jays and Yankees have one more in this series tomorrow night. We'll join you across the network, 7 o'clock Eastern. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Kiner Falefa goes down on strikes. It's a 1-2-3 7th inning, turned in by David Phelps. And in downtown Toronto, it's time to stretch at Rogers Center. Yankees 5, the Blue Jays 2. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks over the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Show you the moves.
Baseball is in full swing. Why not enjoy great Pilsner taste from Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of MLB? 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs.
The listening you love is on the free Odyssey app. Your trusted local radio stations, coverage of your favorite teams, live news from your hometown, and millions of podcasts on demand. Best of all, you can completely customize your listening experience. Follow topics you care about, like leagues and teams. Pause or rewind your local sports and news, and add shows to your queue to catch up later. There's a lot to listen to, so get started and download the free Odyssey app today.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Football season is here. The new Odyssey app lets you stay connected to your NFL team, your station, your shows. Follow your favorite stations and come back again and again. Get real-time updates on everything you care about. Miss your show? Jump back to their awesome rewind feature. The Odyssey app is NFL football, live and on demand, wherever you are, whenever you want. And did we mention it's all free? Download the Odyssey app today.